Alright, hey guys, Simon here. We are in Assassin's Creed Brotherhood, and today we are gonna look at the Castel Sant'Angelo. So here we are to the east of it, looking at it across the Tiber River. So Castel Sant'Angelo is in the Vatican district. So there it is. There we're standing here looking at it. We're gonna walk around here. That's the Ponte Sant'Angelo, which is the bridge, Sant'Angelo Bridge, and then there's St. Peter's there. So we're gonna look at Castel Sant'Angelo today, and it looks like that from this angle. It's basically a big, giant, cylindrical fortress. Then let's run around the Tiber a little bit and have a look at it. Have a look at this thing from different angles, right? This might be somewhat more interesting than the other architecture tours because in the game, the Castel Sant'Angelo is a restricted area, which means we have to kill some guards. Let's take the boat. Why not? There we go, a nice scenic boat ride. Actually, there's a barrier there. Okay, never mind. We can't see the castle very well. I mean, well, there it is. So there's a cylindrical thing, and then it's behind an additional set of walls as well. So there's walls, and then there's a castle. So it's a pretty serious fortress. Pretty heavily fortified. How do I get off the boat? There you go. And then here's the bridge. That seems kind of small though, doesn't it? Well, we can go into Google and Wikipedia and look this stuff up fairly soon. In the meantime, let me just stop jumping around and maybe kill some of these guards because we need to clear them out so that we can do our tour. Alright, so as they do that, so there's the Castel Sant'Angelo there. Let's look at the images. And yeah, so the bridge is actually... Oh, that's interesting. So you see how long this is and the perspective of it. How long is the bridge? That's the Ponte Sant'Angelo. What if I type that into Google? Ponte Sant'Angelo? Images? They don't even have the full bridge, really. This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I can count 5 segments at most. It looks like that, so this is from the Castel Sant'Angelo looking across the Tiber towards Rome. So the bridge is like that tall, and it's 5 arches, right? Let me just see in the game. So in the game, it's... No, what are you doing, bro? Stop sticking to the ladders. So in the game, there's kind of 5? Kind of 5, but... yeah, a bit smaller than in real life. So it's flat the whole way along in real life, and it's 5 full arches. Whereas in the game, the arches themselves are smaller, and you don't have the full arch at either end either. So it's kind of just wimpy little thing in the game. So imagine if the real thing is like twice as big, twice as long, twice as wide, and that's about it. Are my assassins actually having trouble? Let me just call more assassins. What are you guys doing? Alright, well... how is he blocking? There you go. Alright, so the bridge is too small. And unfortunately the effect of having the small bridge is that you don't get the views and the perspective and whatnot. Because in the real thing... there's the... oh crap. No, what? Come on guys, come on. Like when the thing is full size, there's a certain perspective to it, to this view that you don't get. Like you see how like the size of the bridge compared to the size of the castle and all that. You see how short this bridge is? Whereas if you compare that to, say, one of these images, especially like that, and the width of the bridge and the length and the size of the castle, it's a different scale, right? The castle, like in the game, looks much bigger just because it's closer. Not that it's actually bigger, it's just too close. You can see how tall it is. It's because the bridge is not long enough, right? So when the proportions are different, then you get these sorts of effects where things aren't really how they would appear in real life. I don't want his horse, I want loot. And it's a slight problem. I mean, we had similar problems back in Venice in the last game, where because of the height and the width of the streets and the width of the canals and everything, but you don't even see the canals very much in game because of how narrow they are. Whereas if you go to the real city of Venice, like the canals are quite significant, like they're a big part of the city, and in most places you can kind of look out and there's water. Whereas in the game you look out, you don't see the water because the water's too narrow, right? Anyway, so you have similar problems. And like, I keep talking about this in all sorts of playthroughs that I do where, you know, the game has to sacrifice realism for the sake of fitting things into the game and have to change the scale of things so that they fit into the game. But it makes a difference. It makes a difference when they do that. Anyway, so there's the Castel Sant'Angelo. So the view is, you know, different. It's taller in game. I guess because, you know, we're playing a parkour game, so, you know, tall stuff is fun to play. Also, it's bigger in real life, so it's wider in real life, probably the same height. So they've changed the proportions a little bit. And I don't know if that's I don't think that's a good thing. I don't know how necessary it is. Maybe it is necessary. But anyway, so the towers are fairly accurate. So there's kind of round towers in the walls. So that's fairly accurate. So, but there's no moat around it. There is a moat around the Castel Sant'Angelo in the game. Not sure if that's historically accurate or not. So there's the bridge, and there's statues too. Look at that. There's statues along the bridge. Various angels and things carrying crosses. Must have been in the game. There's statues of Neptune, which is a pagan thing. It's an old Roman god, not angels, which would make sense given that this leads to the Vatican and the seat of the Pope. Would think that these would be Christian figures, but no. In the game, it's Neptune with his penis hanging out too. That's cool. All right, well that's slightly inaccurate. Although I don't know though. Maybe it is accurate. Maybe the statues were changed later on. Who knows? We might find out when we read the article. So there's Castel Sant'Angelo. Is there anything we need to make a note of? I don't think so. There's not too much to say. So in plan, it looks like that. So there's the old castle, and then they added this later on, I believe. Again, the star formation or the star shape of the fortresses is because of cannons. I think I talked about this briefly a few videos ago, but because of the invention of cannons and how they work, the star-shaped fortress was invented to compensate for cannons. Alright, nothing much else to say about just the pictures. And that's the interior, huh? I guess it's quite accurate. The interior, like in the game, you also do a similar thing. So is that no, that's the bridge there. You go in the bridge, in the door, and then there's like a ramp going up. And that's actually how it is in the game as well. I don't know if we can still go inside. But if you remember earlier in the game, when we were playing through the missions that go inside the Castel Sant'Angelo, you remember how the interior is also like a ramp. You go in the door and you go around a ramp. Let's see if we can make our way inside. The gates don't really help. There's the front door. Actually, no, we can't, can we? Because we can't go inside. Because the doors are closed, I think. Well, we'll find out. Hey, bro. Yeah, let's see if we can find some open doors. If we can't, then we'll just climb all over the exterior of the building, which is also fine. Don't really know why they don't just open the gates after you do the missions, because there's no real point locking you out at this point. There's the front door, that's still closed. Okay. Apparently my assassins killed the guy I was supposed to land on. That sucks.
Your death was necessary.
Alright, let's see if... Well, first we get our medicine back, hopefully. There you go. And then we have a look around to see if there are any open doors down here. I don't know. What are you doing? Put him down. Pick up the halberd. Or the spear this time. Let's see if there are any open doors down here. I don't think there will be. Where does this go? This goes up there. That's not an open door, actually. So there are buildings around the interior of the wall as well. Interesting. I think they actually did this pretty accurately. Aside from the scale, aside from a little bit of the proportions, the general plan of the building appears to be quite accurate. Or at least I don't detect any deviations at this point. So that door would close as well, right? And yeah, that's closed. Alright, so I guess we don't get to go to the interior anymore. Although maybe it's not that important. Maybe you can remember it. I think it won't be that accurate neither. It probably changed a little bit for the missions. Let's just get back to the front and see if we can... Yep, here's the front. So we went all the way around and there are no open doors, so we're just looking at the outside. Alright. Although we can climb and there is a little bit that we can go into at the top. Can't go inside the building though, I don't think. Hey bro. Alright, so what else do we have? I think that's all the pictures that are useful for us now. Okay, so let's go to Wikipedia then. Let's see what Wikipedia has to say about Castel Sant'Angelo. It actually is the mausoleum of Hadrian, so it's a grave of a Roman emperor. But now it's the castle of the Holy Angel, Castel Sant'Angelo. Is a towering cylindrical building in Parco Adriano, Rome, Italy. It was initially commissioned by the Roman Emperor Hadrian as a mausoleum for himself and his family. The building was later used by the popes as a fortress and castle and is now a museum. The Castel was once the tallest building in Rome. Once the tallest building in Rome? Alright, well yeah, I guess it would be. The tomb of the Roman Emperor Hadrian, also called... Actually, we didn't see what the game said. We'll get back to that. The tomb of the Roman Emperor Hadrian, also called Hadrian's Mole, was erected on the right bank of the Tiber between 130 AD and 139 AD. Originally, the mausoleum was a decorated cylinder with a garden top and a golden quadriga. A decorated cylinder with a garden top And the golden quadriga, that's the what is that? Golden quadriga as in what? A statue of, oh, it's four horses. A car or chariot drawn by four horses abreast. Alright, so it's a carriage. Oh, like it's a chariot with four horses. And it's what? It's a golden quadriga? Golden quadriga, wow, at the top. Amazing. Hadrian's ashes were placed there a year after his death in Baiae in 138 AD, together with those of his wife Sabina and his first adopted son Lucius Aelius, Aelius, who also died in 138 AD. Following this, the remains of succeeding emperors were also placed here, the last recorded deposition being Caracalla in 217 AD. The urns containing these ashes were probably placed in what is now known as the treasury room deep within the building. Hadrian also built the Pons Aelius facing straight onto the mausoleum. It still provides a scenic approach from the center of Rome and the right bank of the Tiber, and is renowned for the Baroque additions of statues of angels holding aloft elements of the Passion of Christ. Okay. So the Pons Aelius, which is the Ponte Sant'Angelo, that bridge was built by Hadrian, but the statues were added in the Baroque era. So there supposedly wouldn't have been statues at this point in time in the game. Destruction. Oh, that sucks. Much of the tomb's contents and decorations have been lost since the building's conversion to a military fortress in 401 and its subsequent inclusion in the Aurelian Wars by Flavius Augustus Honorius. The urns and ashes were scattered by Visigoth looters during Alarac's sacking of Rome in 410, and the original decorative bronze and stone statuary were thrown down upon the attacking Goths when they besieged Rome in 537, as recounted by Procopius. An unusual survivor, however, is the capstone of a funerary urn, probably that of Hadrian, which made its way to St. Peter's Basilica, covered the tomb of Otto II, and later was incorporated into a massive Renaissance baptistry. The use of spoiler from the tomb in the post-Roman period was noted in the 16th century. Giorgio Vasari writes, in order to build churches for the use of the Christians, not only were the most honored temples of the idols, the pagan Roman gods, destroyed, but in order to ennoble and decorate St. Peter's with more ornaments than it then possessed, they took away the stone columns from the tomb of Hadrian, now the castle of Sant'Angelo, as well as many other things which we now see in ruins. So they took all the pretty stuff from the old Roman buildings and put them in the new Christian buildings. Well, that's what happens. Legend holds that the Archangel Michael appeared atop the mausoleum, sheathing his sword as a sign of the end of the plague of 590, thus lending the castle its present name. A less charitable yet more apt elaboration of the legend, given the militant disposition of this archangel, was heard by the 15th century traveler who saw an angel statue on the castle roof. He recounts that during a prolonged season of the plague, Pope Gregory I heard that the populace, even Christians, had begun revering a pagan idol at the church of Santa Agata in Suburia. A vision urged the Pope to lead a procession to the church. Upon arriving, the idol miraculously fell apart with a clap of thunder. Returning to St. Peter's by the Aelian Bridge, the Pope had another vision of an angel atop the castle, weeping the blood from his sword on his mantle, and then sheathing it, or wiping the blood from his sword. While the Pope interpreted this as a sign that God was appeased, this did not prevent Gregory from destroying more sites of pagan worship in Rome. Alright, well, that happens, pagans, you gotta kill them. Gotta destroy their statues. Papal fortress, residence, and prison. The popes converted the structure into a castle beginning in the 14th century. Pope Nicholas III connected the castle to St. Peter's Basilica by a covered, fortified corridor called the Pizzetto di Borgo. Let's open that up. Um, the fortress was the refuge of Pope Clement VII from the siege of Charles V's Langsnet, I think. That's basically the mercenaries. During the sack of Rome in 1527, in which Benvenuto Cellini described strolling the ramparts and shooting enemy soldiers. Right. So Charles V laid siege to Rome, or he sacked Rome, but he couldn't take the Castel Sant'Angelo because it's a big fortress. But they took the rest of Rome. Leo X built a chapel with a Madonna by Raffaello da Montelupo. In 1536, Montelupo also created a marble statue of St. Michael holding his sword after the 590 plague, as described above, to surmount the Castel. Later, Paul III built a rich apartment to ensure that in any future siege, the Pope had an appropriate place to stay. Oh, cool. Montelupo's statue was replaced by a bronze statue of the same subject, executed by the Flemish sculptor Peter Anton von Verschaffelt in 1753. Verschaffelt is still in place, and Montelupo's can be seen in an open court in the interior of the castle. So none of this stuff is in the game. These were all later on. The Papal State also used St. Angelo as a prison. Giordano Bruno, for example, was imprisoned here for 6 years. Another prisoner was the sculptor and goldsmith Benvenuto Cellini. Executions were performed in the small inner courtyard. As a prison, it was also the setting for the third act of Giacomo Puccini's Tosca. The eponymous heroine of the opera leaps to her death from the Castel's ramparts. Decommissioned in 1901, the castle is now a museum. Alright, well there's the history of it. So it was originally Hadrian's mausoleum, and then the other Roman emperors also got buried there. And then they turned it into a fortress, and now it's a museum. Well, there you go. I don't... There doesn't seem to be very much like historic images of it. I mean, it currently looks like a castle. I wonder what it looked like. I mean, it said that there was kind of like a grassy roof and then a giant golden statue at the top. Let's see. A decorated cylinder with garden top and golden quadriga, and also there were columns because they took the columns from the Castel Sant'Angelo to put in St. Peter's. So you can imagine that it must have looked quite different when Hadrian built it. And you can see how they call this rough stone down here. Oh crap. You see all this rough stone down here, this brick stuff, this ugly brick stuff. They must have taken the marble off the old building and then left the brick interior exposed like this. Because otherwise it doesn't really make sense for this thing to be, this sort of kind of rough brick stuff. So whatever it was before, all the marble is gone and all the decoration is gone, all the gold is gone. And we don't see that stuff anymore, which is a bit of a shame, but history happens. Let's see, do we have more images? Like most of these are modern images. What if I type in Castel Sant'Angelo reconstruction? Reconstruction? Is that like a... Oh, I see. So here's like a model of what they thought it might have looked like. Interesting. So there's a bridge, there's a massive plinth. Really? A massive plinth? Well, I mean, there's a giant wall here now. So there's kind of like... There's like a cake, basically, with plants up here. Oh, what's this stuff? And then the giant statue up there. So that's what possibly... Oh, crap. Let's go back to here. Castel Sant'Angelo reconstruction. images. So that's what they think it might have looked like. So yeah, like a giant cake, horse statues, giant horse statue. I don't know, it seems a bit big. That horse statue seems a bit massive, given that it's supposedly gold. Even if it's gold plated, it's pretty massive. Right, so it's a little big cake, basically. Here's someone's photoshopping this thing. That's a pretty massive statue. So they seem to agree that it looks something like this. So all the columns are gone, all the marble's gone. Giant golden horse is definitely gone. Alright, well that's interesting. Yeah, so they think it looks like that. Alright, so what else do we have to say about this? Oh, I do have that. Never mind, never mind. So... Oh, the passage? So, I wonder if we can see this. Let's get back onto the wall. See if we can see this passage. So there's a fortified passage from St. Peter's to the Castel Sant'Angelo. And I think we traveled along it at some point during our playthrough of these missions. I think it was in the last game, Assassin's Creed 2, where we actually had the opportunity to travel from Castel Sant'Angelo to the Vatican. How do I get up there? Oh, up here? Alright. Along the passage. Yeah, that's right. So in the last game we did that. Nope, can't see me. Can't see me. Where are my assassins? I swear I call my assassin. Never mind.
I'm overreacting again.
Yes, you are. You are overreacting. So efficient, these guys. Alright, so north is that way. So the fortified passage would be that one. See that road? How it kind of just goes that way towards the St. Peter's there. I'm pretty sure we can't go there in this game. In the last game, in the final mission, we in the final mission we traveled along that on a horse, no less, and got to the Pope in the Vatican that way. Let's just see if I can actually get onto it. I'm pretty sure I can't. Hey guys. So that's all fenced off. That is fenced off, and I can probably climb up to it. Pretty sure I can. Oh, okay. Well, let me just. Oh, this is. They keep running into that gate because AI problems. So I could get over here. I'm pretty sure. I might have to do some fancy jumping though. Let's see if I. Oh no! Oh wait, yes. Like if I do this and I do like a sideways jump. No, that's not it. Sideways jump. Nope. Sideways jump and then catch back. That's a bit awkward. I don't think you're supposed to come here at all, but you can. Actually, you are because there's loot here. Oh, hey guys, there's a box there. So yeah, in the last game we went this way. This game we can't go this way. Area not available. Where can I go? Let me just climb up here. So there's that passage. And in real life, if I can go to maps, just wait for that to load. Oh, here we go. So that passage would be this one here. Let's see, so that one. The passage in real life is substantially less fortified. I mean, it's a passage, but there's no. I mean, there's a few of these turrets on it. Not quite as many as there are in the game, though. So there's the passage there, leading to Castel Sant'Angelo. And okay, can we not? All right, and then there it is there, a giant cake. It's been modified quite a bit. It's been modified quite a bit. And there's the statue of um, Saint Michael, or the Archangel Michael. Alright, so the passage, Pozzetto di Borgo, or simply Pozzetto, is an elevated passage that links the Vatican City with the Castel Sant'Angelo. It is approximately 800 meter long corridor located in the Rione of Borgo. It was erected in 1277 by Pope Nicholas III, but parts of the wall were built by Totila during the Gothic War. On several occasions it served as an escape route for popes in danger. Pope Alexander VI crossed it in 1494 when Charles VIII invaded the city and the Pope's life was in peril. Clement VII escaped to safety through this passage during the sack of Rome in 1527 with the troops of the Holy Roman Emperor Charles V. Massacred almost the entire Swiss Guard on the steps of St. Peter's Basilica. Well, so much for the Swiss Guard. They're pretty good, but I guess they were pretty outnumbered too. In popular culture, Pozzetto, okay, let's not worry about that. I mean, it talks about Assassin's Creed 2. So there it is. Not much to say about it. I guess it's not that interesting. It's just a big giant wall with the path at the top. And then the bridge. Let's read about the bridge. Ponte Sant'Angelo, once the alien bridge, or Pons Alias, meaning the bridge of Hadrian, is a Roman bridge in Rome, Italy, completed in 134 AD by the Roman Emperor Hadrian to span the Tiber, from the city center to his newly constructed mausoleum, now towering the Castel Sant'Angelo. So he built the mausoleum and he also built the bridge to link the city to his new mausoleum. The bridge is faced with travertine marble and spans the Tiber with 3 arches. Wait a minute. 1, 2, 3, but then there's 4 and 5. How is that 3 arches if there's 5 arches? You see that, right? You see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I mean, 3 of them are entirely in the river, but the 2 of them count as well, right? Anyway, that's a bit odd. It was approached by means of a ramp from the river. The bridge is now... originally, I guess. The bridge is now solely pedestrian and provides a photogenic vista of the Castel Sant'Angelo. It links the Rione of Ponte, which is named after the bridge itself, and Borgo. Okay, I guess the original bridge had 3 arches. And approached by means of a ramp from the river. Maybe that's what it means. In times past, pilgrims used this bridge to reach St. Peter's Basilica, hence it was known also with the name of Bridge of St. Peter, Ponte Sancti Petri. In the 7th century, under Pope Gregory I, both the castle and the bridge took on the name Sant'Angelo, explained by a legend that an angel appeared on the roof of the castle to announce the end of the plague. During the 1450 Jubilee, balustrades of the bridge yielded due to the great crowds of the pilgrims, and many drowned in the river. In response, some houses at the head of the bridge, as well as a Roman triumphal arch, were pulled down in order to widen the route for the pilgrims. Okay, so there used to be a triumphal arch, and more houses around here. For centuries after the 14th century, the bridge was used to expose the bodies of the executed. In 1535, Pope Clement VII allocated the toll income of the bridge to erecting the statues of the apostles, St. Peter and St. Paul, to which subsequently the 4 evangelists and the patriarchs were added, to other representing statues Adam, Noah, Abraham, and Moses. Who wrote this? The grammar's pretty bad. Shouldn't that be added to other statues representing Adam, Noah, Abraham? To expose the bodies? What's that supposed to mean? Someone needs to fix the grammar here. In 1669, Pope Clement IX commissioned replacements for the aging stucco angels by Raffaello da Montelupo, commissioned by by Paul III. Bernini's program, one of his last large projects, called for 10 angels holding instruments of the Passion. He personally only finished the 2 originals of the angels with the superscription INRI and the crown of thorns, but these are kept by Clement IX for his own pleasure. They are now in the Church of St. Andrea della Frate in Rome. So yeah, statues. There you go. Interesting pictures. How are they, like, why are they purple backgrounds? Anyway, so that's the bridge. Nothing too much about that, neither. Although it's somewhat bigger in real life. Although, yeah, that might have been added later on. That might have been changed later in history. Hold on, when did the Triumphal Arch and the other thing got destroyed? 1450, yeah. So in 1450, a Roman Triumphal Arch and some houses were destroyed. What is the date today in the game? It's not 1450 yet, is it? How do you know the date? Is that in the DNA? 14. Oh, it's 1459. 1459. All right. So okay, I see how that works. So the houses would have been removed, and the arch would also have been removed at this point, I guess. Is there anything else to say about the Castel Sant'Angelo? I don't think so. I think we've covered pretty much everything there is to cover. Not quite as big articles as the other buildings, but I guess it's not quite famous as a landmark neither. Hadrian's tomb, and then all the decorations were stolen by the popes at some point to decorate St. Peter's, and then turned into a fortress. I'm pretty sure this moat was never here. There was never a moat, especially not a moat that goes down to the Tiber River. So that's completely fictional. But aside from that, very good. Alright, so I think we can end the video here, and the next time we will look at St. Peter's. Although we can't... What's wrong with the sky? Holy cow. Although we can't do much with St. Peter's in this game. But we will look up the history of St. Peter's anyway, just because we're here and it's interesting. Did we do the Sistine Chapel? The Sistine Chapel? I don't think we did. And I don't know if we can't actually get back into the Sistine Chapel neither. We might do that too, even if we can't go to it in game. We might as well look at St. Peter's and Sistine Chapel, at least in Wikipedia, because we saw it briefly last game and in the start of this game, but we never really get to go back inside. There's St. Peter's there. Alright, I'll end the video here, and I'll see you guys in the next one.